recording. Okay. What up? What's up?
Alright.
Yeah. What's up? And we back on AASY TV. You know, we got the lovely Jasmine here. We got a special host today. We got your boy Noel.
Yo.
At the Bring Him Back, you know what I'm saying?
Already.
So today episode, we're going to talk to Jasmine again about her struggles and the hurdles that she had. We already did this episode, but I kind of fucked it up. I don't know what happened. I think Messi had something to do with it. I don't know. But let's go ahead and jump into this thing, man. So like today's topic is you know, we discussing with Jasmine of some of the hurdles that she's been through in her life. You know, she got a story, and I'd rather her to tell a story where she's coming from, you know, as far as being homeless, going to a shelter, getting on Section 8, moving up, getting a job, getting 2 jobs, trying to just, you know, 3 jobs, you know, just trying to become like
business,
own your own business, you know, on your pursuit to independency or stability.
Stability, I would say.
What? I can't hear you. Gotta talk up for the camera.
Stability, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, how far back am I going?
I mean, let's stay on topic. Let's talk about, you know, what made you end up in the shelter? How old were you?
Okay, so, I was 21. Actually, I was 20. I was living, you know, my mom passed when I was young, so I was living with a relatives, and they were kind of on drugs and things like that. So, you know, I kind of knew that the only way for me to get out, you know, and be on my own was to, you know, go to the shelter or something like that. You know, I didn't have no responsibilities really and things like that. So I ended up getting pregnant on purpose. And
You ended up.
yeah, well, I got pregnant on purpose. Like I did it on purpose.
So you wanted to get pregnant?
Yeah, I wanted to get pregnant because I know that was my way out of the situation. So that happened.
So you trapped some man
No, I
trying to
didn't
get
trap
out?
him. He knew what was going on too.
Okay.
But, you
What
know,
was, if you don't, so what was that way out? Like what was the plan?
it was just for me to go to the shelter because I know I couldn't do it as a single, you know, being so young and single.
Mm.
Most of the time they don't want to take you, or the process is longer if you don't have any children when you're a female.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, so you kind of had a plan.
Yeah, I kind of had a
That
plan.
was the plan.
I kind of
Okay.
had a plan. So, you know, it was kind of wrong, you know. At the time, I probably
But
should have waited a little longer, but it helped
It
me
was
along the way.
end to a
Yeah,
means
it
or
was.
something.
Yeah, it was. You know, that was my way out. So that's what I did. Because that was one of the things that they kept saying. Oh, you get pregnant, you gotta leave. You gotta leave. So, and I know, you know, most of the time I was just there for the money anyway. So that's how I
What
felt
do you
at the
mean?
time.
Like, oh, they was using you for a
Yeah,
check?
they was using me for my
Wow.
check. Yeah, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying. So, you know, I was like, all right. I didn't know what else to do at that time. So I was like, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do.
So one question: would you say that it was your decision or something that was like fed to you?
No, it was my decision.
Your decision,
Yeah, it was my
okay.
decision.
But what it was fed to you is like just the information how to
Yes.
play it.
Yeah, how to go about it. But at that time, I didn't have any other friends or peers my age that was going through what I was going through. So I didn't really have anybody to talk to and tell me like, oh, this direction go, you know,
No
to do this. I didn't have no guidance in that area. I just always knew that, okay, and for me to leave, I got to get pregnant. So that's what I did. And I got pregnant and they put me out and I ended up going to the shelter. Actually, they did put me out. You know, I had like a curfew and stuff like that. And, you know, so it was a lot of things that was going on before I actually decided to go to the shelter. But, you know, I went to the shelter and that wasn't the first time. That was the first time, but I didn't get my apartment that time. So after, you know, I was in there for a few months or whatever, I had the baby and I had my daughter, and then her grandmother from her father was like, oh, come stay with us. So I did that, but I'm skipping. When I was in the shelter the first time, you know, they have to do it's a whole process. So they call the people that you were staying with. They do like a check to see if the apartment is big enough while you're leaving and things like that. So they did that, and it was big enough for me to go back. So they told them that they would pay them and things like that for me to stay there. So I ended up going back there because
They sent you back to the place you was trying to run away
they
from?
kicked me out.
Oh man.
So-
get your ass back.
Right. So I had to go back. So once you, like, when they kick you out the shelter, if you stay out 24 hours, they tell you got someplace to go.
Yeah.
So I had to go back to the shelter. So I just kept doing that. I went back to the shelter like twice.
Okay.
And then after, they kept me that time, I had the baby, and her father was like, you're going to come stay with us. So I did that. I stayed there for a while or whatever. And then I had another child, and I ended up going back to the shelter. And this time is when I got, my Section 8 came through and everything, so I was able to get an apartment and things like that.
Okay.
I got a question. You
Go ahead.
Well, I want to say, this second child, was this a part of the plan, or was this out of your relationship?
No, that was just during a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah. But I knew, like, I was living with his mom and him, and we were like it was a small place, so I didn't want to have raising two kids in her apartment. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to have my own at that time.
So you was like, how old then?
I was
Was this
20,
like second child?
22 going on 23.
So
It
you
was pretty
23
fast.
with two kids, and you was back in the shelter.
Yeah, back in the
2
shelter.
years later.
Yeah, like a year and a half actually. Yeah, they're a year and a half apart.
So on the second time, third time, how long did you stay in the shelter for?
Once again, I stayed in the shelter for a couple of months. I'm going to say about 3 months. And then my kid's father was like, okay, we're going to get our home. So we rented a room. We got our own. We was there for a while. Things didn't work out the way it was supposed to. I ended up back in the shelter. So this time I was pregnant with my third child. And, I decided to stay that time. I was like, I got to stay. Like, I'm not leaving because all this back and forth stuff is, not getting me nowhere. So I ended up staying, and I stayed in the shelter for a year and 3 months. And, when I got my apartment, I got out the shelter, I got my apartment and everything. And, that was my first apartment. I was there for 3 years. And it was cool, like, so.
Okay.
It was cool. And I just went from there. Like, I always wanted to be kind of independent and do things on my own. I didn't want to live with people and stuff like that. So it was kind of like a journey, like, kind of
So
stressful.
now you have 3 kids. You got your first Section 8. What was life like at that time?
At that time, life was beautiful. At least I thought it was. To me, it was beautiful. But I wasn't working. So Section 8 was paying everything for me at that time. I was
So
on
that's
public
what you mean
assistance.
by saying it was beautiful?
Yeah, it was beautiful because I didn't have to worry about anything. At least I thought that's what it was going to be. But like I said, I wasn't working, so they were paying everything. I was on public assistance, getting Medicaid, food stamps, all of that. I was doing all of that. But after a while, I was like, okay, my kids are getting older. The money that they're giving me is not enough. You know what I'm saying? And I want more. Like, I want more for me and my family. So I went and got a job. And when I went and got the job, they cut me off of food stamps. They was messing with my Medicaid for a while. The Section 8 is always in place because it goes off of your income. Like, they pay a certain percentage of your rent for you, depending on your income. So that was like, my security right there. But everything else kind of like fell, off. So that's when the struggle started to come. So it was like, when you think you're doing good and you're trying to better yourself, it's like it's something always there to hold you back. As far as like, them cutting you off because you're making too much money. So now you're buying food out of your cash and things like that. When the food stamps, you was getting like $300-400 a month. So times started to get a little bit hard. And I didn't really know how to like budget and do these things because I wasn't working.
So
Never really had a job.
hold on. So you're saying in the beginning it was sweet. They was taking care of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then your what was it? Your appetite grew, or you wanted more? Did you want a desire for like what, a better life? What was it that changed inside you?
Those tracks.
Yeah, my mentality changed a lot because, like I said, coming from where I came from, I was always kind of like independent. Like at a young age, I was doing hair and babysitting and stuff like that to get money, but it was just me. So once I had my child, it was
What
like,
age, if you know?
oh, my mom died when I was 9.
So what age did you start doing certain things?
Like
to get
11.
Money? 11.
Yeah, 11,
Wow.
12 years
You was
old. 'Cause
hustling from
I
when
was
you was
hustling,
11.
yeah. My brother was actually taking care of me, but he got locked up for murder after my mom passed away. So he got locked up, I was 12. So after that, I just was doing everything on my
Slow
own.
mo.
Yes.
So your mother died.
Hmm.
Your brother got locked up for murder. Where was your father at?
My father was in the streets on drugs. Yeah, he was on drugs heavy. So it was like I haven't from. My mom died when I was 9. I saw him maybe when I'm gonna say like 10, around 10, maybe 9, 10, and then I didn't see him. Like I wasn't seeing him no more. So at 12, I just had to do it.
And basically, you was raised with family.
Yeah, I was raised with family, like cousins.
Okay. So now we're gonna get back to the story. You know, so you trying to move up. You went and got a job, and when you got a job, they took your food stamp.
Yeah, they took my food stamps. So that was kind of hard because I'm used to food stamps and
Extras.
extras. Yeah, I got
that
accustomed to the assistance, and I'm like, okay, like I can't do nothing. My checks ain't that much for me to be. I gotta buy food now, and my kids need clothes, and different things like that. So it started to get tight. It started to get like a little kind of. It started to get a little depressing in a sense, but.
So
that just made me want. I know I had to get another job.
So what you mean depressed? Like so now, what do you mean like discouraged? Like how you try to get a job?
Yeah.
To kind of help better yourself, but then
they start cutting you off and
they
stuff.
cut you off.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, I want to do better. So I'm fighting, between like my feelings. It's like, all right, do I want to continue working, or do I want to just go back on food stamps?
Right.
And my mentality, I was like, you know what? I got to get another job because now.
You made that choice.
Yeah, I made that. I had to make that choice, and it was hard in the beginning because, like I said, the food stamps and everything was security. It was like, okay, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about anything.
But now, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like I didn't have to worry about nothing. But now it's like, okay, I'm on my own. Like they just threw me out there.
Right.
Like they cut everything off. So now I gotta.
So in a sense, you kind of like got accustomed to
Yeah.
how it was, and then here it is. You trying to move up, and then they're like boom, and then you made the decision to move forward instead of just relapsing back to
right.
I'm gonna take the food stamp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do that because a lot of people just choose to
do that. And sorry, being like coming up, I've really never seen a lot of the people that my guardians or whoever was in charge of me. Like a lot of them never worked. So they were getting food stamps for like ever since I known.
So this was like this was just the environment.
That was the environment
right. Drug addict,
right.
Low income,
right. Everything.
Yeah.
So it was either I fall victim to that or I better myself. So that's what I did, and I just kept on. All right, I gotta work here. I gotta get this job. I gotta do this because it's so easy to get caught up. And people taking care of you don't got to worry about nothing. I could have still been on public assistance and doing these things, and I would have been good.
All right, so now you get your second job. What's that? What was your second job?
My second job was a daycare.
What was your first job?
My first job was McDonald's.
Okay.
Yeah, my first job was McDonald's.
Okay.
It wasn't, but it was a job. My second job was daycare, and I love kids, so that's something that I always wanted to do. And even when I was doing like my own thing from young, it had to do with the children. So I was like, okay, I'll get the daycare. I'll start working in the daycare and things like that. And that's what I did. So I've been at the daycare for a while, for some years, and things that my life has it's picked up a lot. It's picked up a lot, but it's just hard, fighting with like, okay, so the second job. Now I'm on Section 8. So the Section 8, I'm making more money now. So I have 2 jobs. I'm making more money, and they're ready to cut me off. So as you, it goes off your income. So they keep cutting you down to the point where now I'm paying majority of my rent. You know what I'm saying? So
how much you rent at that time?
My rent was probably like $1,200. Yeah, like $1,200.
And what you was paying out of $1,200?
Well, I started off paying like 6, and then I went all the way up to like 1,000 and change. So
Outside of $1,200,
Yeah.
you was paying $1,000.
yeah, majority of my
Alright,
rent.
that's what's up. You're making a progress.
Yeah, like I didn't feel, after the second job, I already knew what it was, seeing how they work, because I never really knew how they work. So now seeing how they work, now it's like, okay, the more money you
learning the
make,
system.
yeah, I'm learning the
Okay.
system. So it was like, all right, I'm making more money. I know that I have to get to a certain point in order to be able to pay the rent by myself, buy the food, take care of me and my children, and whatever other expensive and needs and wants that we have. I have to, be making a certain amount of money. So
So let me ask you a question. So now, with you learning the system and learning the do's and the don'ts, and you it's like now it almost like you got to be more deceiving, because like now you got to kind of like hide your income from them. Like you got to kind of like play games if you want to
yeah,
balance it
yeah,
out.
you do.
You
You
see
have
what I'm
to.
saying?
You have to do that, because they would just throw you out there. Like they would just cut you off. They don't give you time to grow and things like that. It's like you make $2 over, they're cutting you. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So they're not giving you time to get yourself together and ease on, do the transition. They're not giving you time to do that. So it's like now you're lying, and like your boss, if y'all cool or something like that, you're saying that you gotta, you're not reporting all your income. Basically,
All right.
you're not reporting all your
So-
income.
So Section 8, would you say it was helpful to you?
For a time being, it is helpful. Yeah,
It is helpful.
It is
Right,
helpful.
but what about like it's not helpful as far as you
Wanting
how
to
they
get
help
off.
you
As
if
far as
you trying to
growing.
get off? Yes, growing.
Yeah.
Have like you were saying before in the last interview, like if you want to pursue a career, because now with your salary increasing, they're like hey, you can. They're giving you more responsibility,
Yeah.
and they kind of just like drop in the back like, hey, you got to get this. So
Yeah.
it's like sudden. So it's like it's disrupting your sense of security.
Yeah, it is, and it's a little scary. It's a little scary, because you don't want to do too much. So it's like you have to do the bare minimum just so you can keep that security if that's what you need, or you have to get that job that's paying 6 however many digits in order for you to live. And that's why a lot of people, they stay stuck, because it's like they're not giving you no time. Like it's just like
They know
It
if
just
they
yeah,
do
it's-
anything, it's
yeah,
just
And then you
you're
become
done.
conditioned.
Yeah,
to
you
it.
become you
And
get used to it, and
it becomes a safety net for you.
right, and that's how I felt about
Right.
the food stamps. It was
So-
a safety net.
So it's like Section 8 is good to help someone like start, but like to help them like get themselves together. But it don't. The
It's not long
transition.
term.
It doesn't help you transition
No, you have to
from
do that on your own.
being like dependent on them to becoming the transition
Yeah.
phase is you think they should kind of work on that or develop a program that will help those who are helping themselves.
So yeah, and it's funny because they do have certain programs, but a lot of them won't tell you about it. Like they have a program now where you can they have these things called rent to own houses. Like you have to go to a class for 5 years, and they will help you save and things like that to get you to to a certain level where you can buy a house. But people don't tell you about that. Like when you first come on, I think that should be mandated for you to have Section 8. I think that should be one of the requirements
Yeah.
for you. From the time you sign that application, that should be implemented for you to do that program.
Yeah,
That's
but
probably
I'm
part of
not
the
trying to take up for Section 8, but still they gotta protect too because they know people are taking advantage of them as well.
Well, that's true too,
So-
but you have to take advantage of them. It's not like we're doing that on purpose.
No.
It's
And I'm saying, it is like a disconnect there where it's like, where do we meet at?
Right.
Because we want to help y'all, but we also know the schemes and we know the cunningness.
But I don't think it would
You know
be
what I'm saying?
schemes and stuff like that if they had the program set. It wouldn't be no reason.
Because people
for you
gonna try to
scheme.
manipulate the program again.
I mean,
they're
people
gonna
try
find
to
ways to
manipulate
manipulate
everything,
it,
so
right?
you're right.
But it definitely it's like one of those things like you seek and you find, right? Because it's for those who want it.
Want it.
Like you said, you
Mhm.
want more, right?
Right.
And you're in that pursuit of more. And you know what I'm saying? And I definitely feel like if you pursue it, you'll find it. There's more
Yeah,
rocks
you have to
look
want
up.
it, and I think that's what they designed to do too. Because like you said, they know that people are going to take advantage and people are going to lie and people are going to do these things and stuff like that. So the people that really want it, I guess, is there for those people, and you have to search and ask questions and do,
more of a, see, to make an example, like how you knew, I think it's more of a not a want but a need. You need that because like when you was in the living with your relatives and just going through certain things, you knew you needed this way out.
Right.
You know what I mean? You needed this. You didn't want to have that plan and just go it that way, but you knew you needed this. You needed to do this.
Yeah, but that's me. So everybody,
It's more when people
Right.
when they need that, that's when they.
But it's like that too, because like you said, some people don't want to get off. Like you have those people that they're comfortable for whatever reason.
But and I'm glad you touched back on that, because coming back to that, it's like once we talk about also the psychological effect of the the comfortability, the familiarity of it.
It's scary.
And then not only is it scary, but it's like it's adding more hardship to your already hardship.
What you're going through.
People already conditioned of it, because I know last time I heard people come up with stories to manipulate the system.
Right.
They come up with these stories of being abused, being raped, being this, and then now they start, like you said, at one time you had to kind of practice and rehearse it.
Yeah.
So now you live in true lies. You start believing it because you're defending it when motherfuckers like, you lying. You like, fuck that.
Right.
No,
You're getting mad
no,
and
you
things
don't
like
lie.
that.
This is true. This
But
happened.
it's a mental thing too, because you hearing stories that's really going on, and then you have to sit down and process like, I'm really sitting here making up these lies to get something, that I need to, I need this, so I have to sit here and lie too. But it starts to mess with you after a while, because it was times when I was in it, because I went for domestic violence, but it wasn't,
You followed a false domestic violence.
Yeah, and I kind of felt bad after sitting down in those meetings and hearing
With real people.
Hearing those real stories. I was like, I just want to leave.
But
because
she was in need though.
No, I was really in need, but it wasn't. It was it was domestic violence, but it wasn't with a spouse. It was with family and things like that. So it was a little different.
Okay. You told the truth, but
I told. Way. So I didn't really have stories, because that's not what they were looking for. They were looking for. They wanted me to coming in with black eyes, and the lady thought I was lying. Well, she knew I was lying. She knew I was lying, because she was like, you don't seem like you've been through. And I was like, well, why? Because I'm not crying. But at that point, I was getting nervous, because I was like, this lady is on to me. But I was like, listen, like, just because I don't have black eyes and bloody nose and busted lips, that doesn't mean that I'm not going through anything. Like, I deal with the way I deal with my stuff. That's how I deal with it. And I was really lying, but it wasn't happening. It wasn't happening from my man. It was happening with my family, but it was more emotional and mental. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't mean that I didn't need it.
Yeah.
But, listen to the stories and stuff like that, I started to feel bad. I was like, I think I should just leave and give somebody who really needs this, a place to stay.
True, right? But, like, go back to, like, that's one hurdle of, you seeking assistance, and you got to kind of be dishonest. And then now you get the assistance, and you're trying to use the system to get on, because they want you to get on. They promote you getting on. But here you're trying to get on, but the system, the way it's designed to kind of keep you there.
Keep you there, yeah.
Because it's either you're in or you're out situation.
Right.
It's either you're on or you're not.
Right.
Right. It's either you're rocking with us or you're not.
Right.
So you feel like, all right, now you got 2-3 jobs, and you want to get off the Section 8, and you got to make a conscious decision of, can I handle this load by myself?
Right.
Which you haven't been handling for over, let's say, a decade,
Right.
however long.
Right. You're not used to it. It's something new.
So now it's a psychological.
Yeah.
So now this becomes anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Now this becomes, because it's fears.
And that's why a lot of people out there, like you see a lot of people, it is psychological, because it's people want to do better. I'm not going to say everybody, but there's people that want to do better, but they know they're scared. You know what I'm saying? They're scared to report anything. Yeah, they're scared to jump out there. They're scared to report this. So it's like a whole line. You're going to be lying for it's like forever. Like the lies just go on and on. Yeah, like you're caught in this. Yeah, you're caught. Okay. And it's hard to get out of that, because it's like, okay, like, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I'm not going to do it because they're going to cut me off. And then what am I going to do then when they cut me off? You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is. You know, it's kind of tough.
All
It's
right.
kind of tough.
So now you got one job working in daycare. You was doing the McDonald's. Then name some of the jobs you list off. What you did and where you at now. Where you at now? What are you doing
Well,
now?
right now I'm working
What
with
have
the
you
special
done?
needs. I have my CDL.
What CDL?
The B.
Truck
CDL.
CDLB? How you got that? Oh man, you got a CDLB? Whoa.
Yeah, I got my CDL.
Man, I wonder how that happened.
I mean, it's a story behind it. But,
Okay,
you know, we ain't gonna get into
okay.
that right now. But yeah, I got my CDLB. You know, I did matron.
You
I
kept
just
going up.
Yeah, I just kept on moving.
Nice,
Like I
nice.
just
And
kept
then what
moving.
else? What else? What do you do?
Elevate.
You could give meds now?
Yeah, I can give meds and things like
Wow.
that. And you know, that's one of the things at the daycare. You know, my boss didn't want to. She was like, you know, I'm not going through that because you have to pay more. If we're able to like administer meds and stuff like that to the children, you're supposed to get paid a little bit more. And she didn't want to do that. So the job that I'm at now, they actually, you
They
know,
do
I
that.
took the
Okay.
class. So when I told her, she was like, well, we don't really need that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like,
Nah,
okay,
you got
but
bread, though.
yeah, but
Yeah,
exactly.
bread,
So
yeah,
you know,
you
she's
need to
trying
pay
to
me.
right.
Man, don't even
Okay.
worry
She's
about that.
trying not to, you know, but you
Alright.
know, yeah. So I'm done a few things. I have my own business now
What is that?
and things
What
like.
you doing?
I'm making clothes. I do resin. I haven't done that in
You
a
have your own
while.
clothing line or what?
No, not really a clothing line, but it's you know
You're a
I
designer.
work for the side enterprise, the team.
Nice.
I'm doing that. I've done.
All right. Good design.
I've
She
done.
don't
You know,
fucking
I've
design.
done. And you know, it's
Hey,
funny.
listen, the
It's
woman
funny.
said she designed
It's funny because a lot of things I've come up with my own little, you know, designs and stuff
Okay.
like that. So I have had people call me and be like, "Oh, I'm thinking about doing this, and I want you to, you know,
So
design
you got
it for me."
clients. You got.
I mean, I don't have steady clients, but I have clients that you know. So it's not a consistent thing because the space. I don't really have access to a lot of space.
Bullshit.
I don't really have access to a lot of space and things like that, but yeah, that's something that I'm, you know, trying to build. I'm still trying to build it. We're trying to build it, but you know. So yeah, you know, I like to do things, so I just want to do stuff.
You also see this is a mindset of an 11-year-old hustler. It ain't it's
I,
still here.
I
You
had no
doing-
choice. I had no choice but to be a hustler. So I didn't hustle a lot of stuff, you know, throughout my years, except for you know.
You
What
need
counts?
to this
What
day.
counts?
The back page?
What counts? I haven't hustled nothing, you know, that, you know. But yeah, I've hustled a lot of things. I've done a lot of stuff in my life, you know. Yeah, legal. You know, so
Yeah.
that's just how I
So,
operate.
you still,
And, oh, I'm sorry. Like now, I'm actually in the process of moving. So I'm looking like it's hard because they have so many programs now besides Section 8. Like I'm like, what the heck is this? So those programs pay a lot more than Section 8. So now we have the landlords. The rent is sky high, 3-bedroom, $3,000 and change, and these programs are paying. And now Section 8 is only paying $2,200 and things like this for a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom. So now that I'm, you know, actually looking at the different, you know, trying to move, I'm looking around. So I'm like, you know, it's hard. These things
yeah,
is hard.
but
Like,
you know what though, you know, it is hard. And you know, like I'm gonna be like what some people be like, alright, so fuck Section 8, right? Because they're not really responsible for you and your family.
and you're right.
So it's like, what you gonna do?
Right. I
You
mean,
feel what
you
I'm
can
saying?
leave the Section 8 and go.
You think you're gonna be ready for that? You know,
I
like,
mean,
what's the future?
I'm actually ready for that, but that's where the security part come in at, because it's been so long. It's like you can be paying majority of the rent and Section 8 will still pay that $10. And if you fall into hard times, they're gonna take over again. So that's where that security comes in at, and that plays with your mind. Yeah, it plays on you because it's like, all right, I know I could do this by myself, but what if I lose one of these jobs or things don't work out the way that, you know, I'm expecting it to work out? That's where that fear comes in.
Thinking of that safety net, but then that's a whole nother process.
You gotta go.
Shelter
I already
is
know
totally
that, though.
different.
I already know that's a
Shelter
whole
is
process.
totally different
That's
from yeah. Shelter is totally different. See, me, I believe that I would never fall back, and I'm saying things happen, so I can't even say that because whatever. But I just have that faith that I'm gonna, I'm gonna keep on growing.
But you
So
gonna do what it.
yeah, I'm gonna do what it takes. I'm gonna do what it takes to make sure that I'm able to keep things flowing the way that they're flowing. But it's still a mental thing. Sometimes it's still
so
like
that's the good point right there. The psychological.
Yeah, it's still a mental thing. Because even though I know I'm good, it's like damn, like
so
that
that's
little
the
bit of
biggest
security.
fear right now. That's the
Yeah,
biggest
that's
fight.
the biggest fight.
hurdle, the psychological hurdle.
Yeah, it's
Are you
like
winning the battle? What's going on?
I'm winning. I'm always gonna win.
Right.
Everything
I
always works in my
You're
favor.
still holding on to the government.
Everything always works in my favor. I could let the government go.
What's up?
I could let the government go. But you know what? It's also a security too because I have children.
Right.
And if something was to happen to me today or tomorrow, I know my kids got a roof over their head because the Section 8 automatically goes to them. And I don't think that they're in the right mindset right now to be able to pay this rent and things by themselves. You know what I'm saying? I know that they're good. They'll be able to take care of themselves.
They rise to the occasion.
They rise to the occasion, but that's another scary. That's another fear.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm glad I asked you these questions. I don't want to stand being an asshole, which I am. You know what I'm saying? But I asked you these questions because you paint the picture of the mindset that people have, whether they realize it or not.
Right.
Whether they can recognize it. It's the fears. These are these anxieties.
Yeah.
That you
every
have.
day.
Like, we could take this step outside, but man, this is a security blanket
Yeah.
for me.
Sometimes you got to take that jump, and I took a lot of jumps in my life. I've been jumping. You know what I'm saying? But this is like the last.
You need. You know what? I'm sorry, I cut you off, right?
That's okay.
I definitely think like if you get a real good job and that will become another security for you, then you could take that jump. You probably need another net. Right?
Okay, so we're gonna go like, okay, so I just recently got my high school diploma, and
congratulations.
yeah, thank you. So that was one of the things from my past that was holding me back. But I've never stopped. So that's why I was always getting little jobs here, little jobs there, little jobs there. So now that I have my high school diploma, I'm applying for everything. So it's everything.
It'll open more doors for you, what you said?
Yeah, it kind of opened more doors for me because some of the things that I wanted to do in life, it was like, oh, you need your high school diploma.
Yeah.
You need your high school
That's
diploma.
the basic.
That
You
was
gotta
the
meet
big
that threshold, the
But
basic.
then there's other degrees that come after that and things like that. But I'm able to even get those degrees now. So I was always picking up little jobs here, and I'm not gonna say
So
little
all that
because it was
counts.
job, right? It counts. But that's what I was like. My point was, now that I'm able to, I have my high school diploma, I can get where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Even if I have to go back to school and do these things, I'm a little up there in age, but I just feel like I want to do everything that I've always wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to stop. So I know I'm going to get there because I'm not going to stop trying. Like I'm going to keep on taking those steps in that direction to get where I need to be.
What's your goal? Where you trying to go? Where you trying to get?
Honestly, I want to be a psychologist. Like I love people. I want to know more. I just want to know everything about people. You know what I'm saying? Like the ins and outs of everything. So that's what I want to do. And right now I'm working with the special needs. So that's just like this job is just beautiful because it's giving me more ammo to go for what I want to go because I need to know how they think and stuff like that. Like I've been at this job for 4 months now, and I know so much about these people that other people don't know. You know what I'm saying? To the point that they love me.
If you can tell us maybe 2 or 3 things that you learned, maybe.
I just learned that everybody. Okay, so everybody is, we're all not the same. We all have our own makeup and things like that. But people look at the people with Down syndrome and the people with autism and things like that. They look at these people and they judge them in a certain way because they can't do certain things and they can't do they're not thinking the way we think. Their mind don't work how our minds work. But these people are smart as hell. Like these people know more than we do in a lot of like on a lot of different levels.
People are not giving them credit.
Yeah, they're not giving them credit. They're not allowing them to just they're treating them like they have issues. And I don't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I treat them like they're human.
Right.
We sit down, we have conversations. I just have to lower myself to their standards. Just because they're not up here with me.
Don't say it like that because you just degrade what
Well,
you said.
not,
But
okay,
I understand what you mean.
Right. I'm talking about on like different conversations that we're
Just
talking about
gotta
that they
get a
don't
different
know about.
approach.
Yeah, a
You just
different
got a
approach. And they don't take the chance to do that. You know what I'm saying? They just well they need this. You got to do this. No, these people can do these things on their own.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You just have to show them, just like a kid. You have to show them. You have to guide them a certain way.
Right.
So that I love that. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that. Just watching them do the things that they weren't doing before I came there, and now they're able to do it. They love me. Like I love them. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanna I want to learn more. Like, I just want to learn more.
So, when I used to drive the ambulance and I used to work with the old people, that was one of their things. They hated that people kind of disregarded them.
Right.
Like, they was old and they just
didn't know.
So they really hate that. And, and even with one of my neighbors, they got a kid that they treat like they're artistic. But for me, he's a regular little boy, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He does what he do. Don't treat him like he's a regular kid. Treat him regular. If you want people to treat him regular, you have to treat him regular. So he can feel regular. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I have this one lady that I work with, she's 83. And I don't know if she has Parkinson's, but she's really fragile. And she shakes a lot. And sometimes when we sitting at the table, she has like a certain diet. So her food has to be cut a certain way and stuff like that. And she shakes so much that the food flies off the fork, but she wants to do it herself. I never feed her until she asks for help. I let her do it because sometimes she'll reach for a napkin and everybody's reaching to get it for her. No, let this lady do it until she tells you that she needs the help. Right. And that's they're enabling them, because
to just feel useless.
Yes,
and just
to feel
sit back and
exactly.
And around old people, one thing they love is to keep their independence.
The independence, and that's what I noticed.
You can't restrict them from that. You gotta allow them to keep their independence.
I let her pick out her own clothes. I'm the only one. She be like, I don't like nightgowns. I be like, okay. Everybody else picks nightgowns.
She don't like the thongs? She don't like the thongs?
No, she don't like that. But everybody else seems to put that on her. And she be like, this my girl. Oh, I'm sorry. She be like, this my girl right here. Because she knows I let her pick out what she wants. She's an adult. What am I telling this lady? She's 83 years old. If it's something that's going to harm her, then I'm going to step in. But if it's not nothing come on now. She can pick out her own clothes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just little things like that, But yeah,
like
I've done that. Yeah, they treated her like a kid. But yeah, I'm. This is what I'm doing now. But
So now, we're gonna bring it back around and get too far off topic. So like you said, what are the end goals? What do you plan to do? About to wrap it up.
Well,
so
my end goal is I want my house.
Do? You want your house?
I want my house. Yes, I'm getting my house, and I'm not gonna do the program. I'm gonna get it myself. I'm saving. I'm able to pay majority of my rent now. Save money. Handle the things that I need to handle, and I want my house. I want my house, and that's my aim right now.
Right.
Need your house.
I
need
need
that house.
She don't get it.
Need
She don't get
We
it.
need that house, yo.
Yeah,
So
I need my house. But for everybody else who's out there, that's, having your fears and everything, I understand it's gonna be okay, but we gotta take that jump, and I'm gonna be the first one to do it for us.
Yeah.
I mean, probably not the first, but whoever's in my boat with me right now at this time.
All right, man. So that's what's up, man. What you got? Any last words? You got any questions you want to ask?
No more questions. I just want to say I'm amazed at the hurdles you went through at such a young age mentally, because that actually put you in a state to evolve to where you are right now. It kind of like prepped you already. Like, all right, I know I got to do this, You know what I mean? You was already on go.
But it's funny that you said that, because I had no other choice but to do that. Like to the hurdles and everything that came along with it. Like, it's like I had no choice.
There's always a choice, but you made
Well,
the decisions you did.
Yeah, I made the decisions that I did, and
there was a choice.
I made the decisions that I'm glad that I made those decisions, and it wasn't easy.
Yeah, because it took a lot of courage to jump out there like that. Because a lot of people, you can let that anxiety incapacitate you.
Yeah, but I also growing up where I grew up at, I always had to be strong because I couldn't mourn. If you understand what I'm saying. Like I never, like even when my mom passed, I couldn't mourn. I just had to keep going because I wasn't allowed to mourn. When my brother got locked up, I wasn't allowed to mourn. So I had to keep going. So that's where the mindset came from. It was like, I'll mourn later, but right now I got to keep on going. You know, if you get what I'm trying to say. I didn't have time to soul in my misery and my depression and things. I didn't have time to do none of that.
So you find time yet to do that?
No,
Every
I still
morning?
did it. I still have
You
it.
waiting for your house?
Right, and then
More
I'm
in the basement?
I'm gonna be screaming to the top of my lungs. But yeah, it's so, you know, I don't mourn a lot of things. It's like stuff happened. I just be like, all right, gotta keep
That's a
on
lot
going.
of bottled
You know
up.
what I'm saying? It is, and a lot of
But-
people tell me
It's a
that.
lot.
I've been in therapy. I've been, you know, but it's a lot. It's a lot. But
Strong.
yeah, it's hard though. It's hard. So you need the right people in your corner. You need the right people around you.
Well, that's good, man. You know, you just like a lot of many other black women. You know, you guys are doing you women are doing a good job surviving, adapting.
Yeah, we have to.
You know, because a lot of load has been like dropped on you women.
Mhm.
You know, you have to kind of like accounting for a lot, playing a lot of roles, become like you guys like wear the pants now. You know, the main providers as well as the nurturers. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why you guys gotta kind of appreciate real men like me out there, yeah.
You gotta
Yeah,
get
you know what I
Yeah, you
mean?
gotta
Shout
get your
out
guy like
to
that.
him,
He
yeah,
gotta
shout
throw
out.
himself in there, right?
Shout out, I had to throw myself
Shout out
in
to
there, you
him.
know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, see, you know, we gonna wrap that up for AASY TV. You know, we here with the wonderful Jasmine. You know, we got the special host, you know, Young No, aka
AKA Lex.
AKA Lex, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened to Messi. He's supposed to be
Right.
here,
Right.
but you know, we signing out right now. Peace. Hey, 40.
I don't know if
The first one covered a lot more